first guest tonight is an Oscar-winning writer, actor, and producer you know from Good Will Hunting, The Talented Mr. Ripley, The Martian, and the Jason Bourne films. He stars as Odysseus in The Odyssey, which is in theaters Friday. Please welcome back to the show our friend Matt Damon, everybody. Welcome, my friend. Congrats on the film.
Thank you.
You had your whole family. Look at this. The whole team came out to see The Odyssey.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone got dressed up. It was a great family night.
Do you are your daughters huge supporters of your work, no matter what?
In their own ways.
Yeah.
One of my daughters she's got a great sense of humor, and our kind of banter is she basically says she refuses to see, she'll only see a movie that I'm in if she hears it's bad.
So support you after the fact, or?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. She's like, that seems fun.
She's just to keep me humble.
They're very good at that. They're very good at that.
She's excellent at it.
That's wonderful. I want to talk about the movie, but a big sporting event happened for your family. Your wife is Argentinian.
Yeah.
And so they beat England yesterday. And did you watch the game?
Oh yeah.
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 Was she over the moon?
Yeah, we scared the out of our dogs.
Yeah.
Literally, our dogs were hiding. They didn't know what was happening. It was a pretty rambunctious household.
You have said that you don't even come close to Messi in your household.
No,
like
but
Lionel
I think
Messi.
That's common for anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Connected to an Argentinian
Right.
in any way.
By the way, my wife's not Argentinian. I don't come close to Messi in my house. I don't. Like, I'm never like, I'm kind of like Lionel Messi. She's like, get the out of here. Do you? How does your Red Sox fandom relate? Would you say to your wife's Argentinian fandom?
It's similar, right? I can relate to her whole side of the family in Argentina. I feel like we can connect. It's a great thing about sports.
Yeah.
It's like when you find people who are similarly sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's an instant connection.
It is funny how you trust someone more if you know they're as irrational as you are.
Exactly.
We're like, my day can be ruined by something I have nothing to do with. You're like, mine too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think we can be friends. It was like Scotland, the Scottish fans in Boston.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite storylines of this World Cup. It was so awesome.
I mean, all I heard was like, friends of mine who have kids in college in Boston were like, it was the greatest time of my life.
I heard a story. There was a bunch of Scots outside a liquor store, and a woman walked in and bought a bottle of water, and they booed her. Yeah, it was epic. I love that. I heard that we instantly declared ourselves a sister city with one of the cities in Scotland.
I mean, it did seem like a nice match.
Yeah. Well, we just knew. It was like, oh yeah, you guys are just like us.
Yeah.
Like, well.
Yeah. This is going to be a fit. I will say, I do have some empathy for England, because I will also say, as a Red Sox fan, it does feel like England's living that pre-2004 Red Sox life.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But they made it to the semifinals twice. They had a couple great runs, and they ran into Argentina.
Tom Holland, Christopher Nolan.
Those are
a lot of Brits in your film.
A lot of folks not talking to me today.
Do you reach out? Do you commiserate? Do you gloat at all?
No, I'm not a gloater, really.
That's nice.
I especially those years of being a Red Sox fan.
Exactly.
You remember what it was like.
Yeah.
And
Awful.
It was just too much.
It was brutal, especially living in New York City.
Living in New York City, and then everything changed when we won. And suddenly, and now people are, and I'm like, oh, now it's a conversation.
Did you, I will say, I as a Celtics fan, I mean, we share that as well. How did you feel about the Knicks?
Actually, oddly great.
I did too.
Yeah.
I was so happy for them.
Yeah, but first of all, that team is impossible to root against.
Yep.
Right? They're just great. And they just, everything about them, the way they handle themselves, and what it did for the city, it's like, I'm a Boston sports fan and I'm a Boston guy, but I love New York and I live in New York, and for what it did to the city, I went out that night with my kids. We just walked out into the street, and we were down in Washington Square Park, and it was awesome.
It's fantastic. I also like that. I feel like it was the Red Sox thing as well, right? Like everybody felt bad for you as a Red Sox fan, the way that everybody felt bad for Knicks fans.
Right.
And then you finally win, and now I feel like it gives us permission to be like, you guys are jerks.
Now we can talk. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. It's reinvigorated everything.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Exactly.
We're back.
We can stop tiptoeing around how sad they are.
Yeah, we don't exactly. We had to kind of not mention it
Yeah.
for years. And
I would always be like, oh, I forgot you had a basketball team, like doing that.
And they suffered. They suffered.
did
I saw
really
Spike Lee at the premiere of the Odyssey the other night. He was there, and I gave him a big hug, and I was like, I'm genuinely happy for you.
Yeah,
you know,
I am too.
because they definitely hung in there.
They deserved it, and I really hope we kick their ass next year. So,
Yes, that's right.
I have a lot to ask about the Odyssey. We'll be right back with more from Matt Damon.
We'll raise the sail, follow the southerly winds.
Agamemnon's rowing west on the known provisions route.
He's got more mouths to feed. We'll find places to land.
Are you sure it's a risk?
I've followed Agamemnon long enough. With a little luck and the right winds, we'll see some of the world, still be home before Agamemnon.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Matt Damon. That was a clip from his new film, The Odyssey. I saw it and loved it, and it's also, I didn't want to know much about it before I saw it, and then I keep hearing about it. I mean, everything was practical. I mean, you were on a boat so much making this.
Yeah.
And so much, you're wet so much.
Yeah.
They said, I mean, Christopher Nolan just throwing buckets of water on you.
Yeah, well, no, it's actually they had a boat. Scott Fisher, who did our effects, had a boat that just basically had fire hoses hanging off the side. And so it
were
wasn't just
praying
me.
for a bucket.
It wasn't just me getting wet. You
Yeah.
know, it was the entire cast. It was the entire crew. It was Chris. Like the one, reassuring thing is, as miserable as you are, you just look to your right and he's just there with you. He's just completely
Right,
in it.
well,
Yeah.
exactly, because there's not like a video village where he can be standing somewhere else, like watching it dry.
There's no special dry place that he goes to. Like he's just in it with you.
Yeah, everybody suffered. I also I heard Robert Pattinson tell a story about how you were sort of screaming to try to like grizzle your voice up. Is that accurate?
Right, for the third act,
Yeah.
for the older version.
Just kind of to age it out. And he did not realize that's what you're doing. And so he was a trailer over, like very concerned.
Oh, we shared a honey wagon. It was a two-banger, so
Gotcha.
he probably...
He thought there was maybe a bathroom emergency, which...
That, if he heard that and thought it was a bathroom emergency, he should have called 911.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If he hears that doesn't get help, what kind of friend is that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I could have been getting murdered in there. Yeah.
It's an incredible cast, and yet I hope your castmates will not take issue with me saying there's a Cyclops that won't surprise anybody that kind of steals the show. Your first time working with a Cyclops?
It was. It was my first time ever working with a Cyclops. Yeah.
It's one of the it's one of the most exceptional scenes in the film, and also a practical Cyclops.
Yeah, we shot in a real cave in Greece called Zeus's Cave. They say it's where Zeus was born, and we would hike up to Zeus's cave, and the rigging grips did this incredible job. They basically turned it into a natural soundstage, and they had this 60-foot puppet, right, that was in there that they were controlling so that we could interact with the puppet. Chris basically uses CGI as little as possible. So there's always some CGI touch-ups that need to happen, but he tries to do everything the way they would have done it, 80 years ago, and then uses modern effects to make it perfect.
I want to see the movie again anyway, but I will be so fascinated to watch that scene again knowing that it's a puppet.
Yeah.
But but real deal sheep in this movie, real deal pigs.
Oh, yeah. The animals are all very, very real. In fact, when we first went into Zeus's cave, I'd been hearing about it, and Chris and Hoyta, our cinematographer, were there, and I walk into the mouth of the cave, and they're way down in the middle of it, and Chris goes, "Matt, come here." And I go, kind of jogging down. I'm like, "Hey, what?" And he goes, "Smell." So I smell, and I go like, "Yeah, what?" And he goes, "This is the best this place is going to smell for 2 weeks." He goes, "We got 40 sheep coming in," and sure enough, the 40 sheep came in.
And it took 2 weeks to shoot the caves.
Yeah, it was, I think, about 2 weeks
Wow.
in there, and he was not lying.
I would guess almost immediately the sheep sort of bring their smell with them.
The sheep made themselves known right away. Yeah.
You also shoot a scene. It's very funny to be like, I don't want to spoil the movie, but like also like, there's a Trojan horse. You know?
I don't think these are spoilers.
Yeah, I don't think they're
we're
spoilers.
okay.
But that is this practical moment where you're watching it and you're like, there's no trick here. This seems like just a bunch of dudes stacked on top of each other, hiding in a Trojan horse.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, I was so excited to see how he was going to do it. And I remember seeing the horse for the first time buried in the sand in Morocco. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. The design of it and how cool it looked. And then when we got to the time we were going to shoot the interior of the horse, we were still in Morocco. And I said, Chris, we're shooting that tomorrow. How are you going to do it? And he just goes, I don't know. He goes, we're all just going to jam into the horse. See what happens. And that's the thing about working with him that's so fun is as big as the movie is, as epic as it is, he still shoots kind of like an independent film. And he waits to see what the actors are doing, and he kind of gathers all the elements he's going to need, not quite sure how he's going to deploy them. And then when he sees it, he kind of discovers the sequences as they go. It's really a really high level of directing.
I mean, it's so funny because part of me is like, oh my God, it really looks like you're jammed in the horse. And then the secret is we
are. Yeah. But that's he wants it all to feel
Yeah.
grounded. He wants to take the audience and we shot it entirely in IMAX, and he wants to take the audience and just bring them on the Odyssey, like just jam them in the horse with us. And you are, and you feel claustrophobic,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And hopefully that makes it resonant for the audience.
My only regret is that I couldn't smell the sheep because I feel like that would be really additive as well.
Trust me, you didn't miss anything.
Okay, great. Hey, congrats on the movie. It's
Thank you.
spectacular.
Really appreciate
Good luck
it.
on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Entertainment, everybody. The Odyssey is in theaters Friday. Be right back with Rebecca Lowe.